Hi there, and welcome to another demo from ICATER. Today we're going to be exploring how to help students write more effectively and more comfortably using Read and Write Gold. Read and Write Gold launches as a toolbar. You can see it up here. It usually docks at the top of the screen, but if you click this little anchor button, you can dock it elsewhere if that's more comfortable for the student. I'm going to leave it docked up top here. So let's go right to our different tools. First one I want to show you is the prediction tool. Now, we've all had the experience of using, say, texting on our phones and having words being suggested. But for a student who struggles with writing, text prediction can go from a simple convenience to something that really facilitates their composition. So let's have a look at this tool. I'm going to go ahead and click it. You can see it launches as this odd blue box, but once I hit my cursor and start to type, it's going to start suggesting words for me. So you can see I started with the word the. This little ear means that there may be multiple ways to use it, that there may be a homophone. You can hear that I have it set that it'll read it out loud to me when I hover. So that can be really helpful for students who struggle not only with writing but with reading as well. If I'm unsure of what the word might mean or how it might be used, I can click this dictionary and it will explain it to me. I can have any of these definitions read simply by clicking them and then clicking up here this play button. It's very helpful for students. And then this is a dynamic text predictor, and so as I go, it's going to select more words. Now, right now, it looks like my text predictor is set to only show one word, so if I go into prediction options, I'm going to go ahead and set it to where it's going to show me multiples. So maybe I want 3 columns if I want it bigger, and you can see this is dynamic, so the student can see exactly what they're getting before they hit OK. So I think that's really nice, particularly for students who are new to this tool. They're just learning it. So I'm going to go ahead and go with lucky number 8 here. And you can see it is now suggesting the 8 words that it thinks I'm most likely to be going for here. And with each keystroke, it's updating. So you guys can see that.
University.
So that's a very helpful tool for students who tend to get a little bit stuck with writing or who struggle with spelling, because now I've gone from having to type out the word university to just clicking it, and boom, there it is. So that's our text predictor. You already saw me demonstrate the dictionary in concert with the text predictor, but I can also access it a la carte. I can go in here and type any word I want. I can also select a word and hit the dictionary button. Oops. And it'll look that up for me. Again, I can have this read out loud by hitting the play button. It's very, very useful for students who are building their grade level vocabulary. Once again, we know that students who struggle with reading and writing often have difficulty with their vocabulary because they're not accessing the same grade level vocabulary, so this can be very supportive. Another thing I want to show is the picture dictionary. That's right up here. So let's see. What might be a good word? I wonder if they have a picture of students. Let's see. So I click here, and you can see here that it's showing some pictures of students learning to help me understand. So this can be very helpful, again, for students who are building their vocabulary, who may be English language learners, maybe are struggling a little with more abstract words. This can make it more concrete, and then I can go directly into the regular dictionary for a verbal definition. I love sounds like. This is really great for students who struggle with finding words that are homophones that sound similar and they may confuse them. So like we, this is one I didn't even think of. It can be we like we teach, or it can be we like wee little bird, so small. So it just steps them through and make sure that this is actually what they meant. So our and our can sound very similar. Common words that are confused for students, you get the idea. So that can be very, very helpful for students who have trouble hearing those sounds precisely, or sometimes replace a word with a similar sounding word. Verb checker is very similar. So this is if a student is having trouble keeping their tenses in agreement. They can type in a word, like maybe I'm going to do run. And then I can think about, okay, is Timmy running right now? Did he run before? Is he about to run? We're going to go with the present. And then it's going to give me a lot of examples of the different ways I could phrase that. And then I can actually select one and change it right here, and it'll swap it for me. It's very handy. As I mentioned before, we do have play, pause, stop buttons. So these are actually reading tools, but are very supportive for students who struggle with reading, and also students who have trouble with proofreading. So even if a student doesn't have difficulty with reading, proofreading their work in preparation for revision may still be a challenge. So having their work read out loud to them may be helpful for hearing those errors they may have made during their composition process, so they can better identify them and correct them. I do want to show you the translator. So this is a useful tool if a student is struggling because they're bridging a language learning issue. Okay, so that's not the word we want. So give it just a second. So let's just say we're wondering about, okay, teach. What exactly does that mean? Okay, wow. See, we've got, right now it's set to Spanish. There are other languages that are supported, but we've got Spanish here, so it's giving me some additional information about this word in Spanish to help facilitate my understanding. Very helpful. There's some preferences. Here's where we can change the language. We can also change color if students have preferences there. Speech input, so that would be for dictation. So if a student wants to be able to speak and have the computer write it instead of typing, that's where we would do that. You would need a microphone for this, preferably either a headset or stand microphone. Using your built-in may result in less accuracy. The word cloud, I love word cloud. So I really like that you can have a specific bank. You can either create your own bank. So if you're a teacher and you're having your students write on a particular topic, you may want to create your own bank. But there's lots of different banks already made. So maybe if I am writing about, let's see, so I'm writing about the European Union. I'm going to go ahead and get that. And here's a word bank, and I can drag this around. I can put it wherever I want. You can see I've got a bunch of different words here, and I can set this to show me more words. Again, the way I would do that is by clicking this little downward arrow. Maybe I want it as a cloud. Maybe I want even more words. Maybe I want 20 words. Just hit OK. And so this can be really helpful for students who tend to get stuck. This is particularly nice during the brainstorming phase of writing, where they're like, what could I possibly say about the European Union? I have to write a paper on it. Oh, I could talk about the member countries. I could talk about how it's governed with the parliament. I could talk about how it handles financial matters and start generating those ideas for students so they can get some ideas on the page. Really helpful. There's also a variety. I won't go into these because these do require an internet connection. But there are a few tools right here that are for helping a student plan and organize their writing and find information for their writing. I may be going into these in another video, so keep your eye out for that in our researching video. But these are just more tools to help facilitate the writing process, from data collection and planning and organizing writing all the way through composition and revision. So these might be our planning and researching tools. We've got some compositional tools, and we've got some revision tools. So that's Read and Write Gold for writing. Like I said, Read and Write Gold has several different toolbars to help with lots of different areas. But I hope you learned something about how Read and Write Gold can facilitate your students' writing. Have fun playing with it. Until next time.